Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Michelle is my name. If it's your first time here, hi, hey, how you doing? And welcome. So, beginner makeup. That's what we're gonna talk about today. Today I'm gonna show you guys how to achieve this look right here without too much stress, without too many products, and just nice and easy. But I'm only going to show you my face routine. We're going to focus on the skin and on the face and not on the eyes at all. So I'm not going to show you the eyes because I feel like the eyes have a different beginner kind of routine, which I haven't mentioned in this video. So yeah, today we're going to focus on the face. So if you'd like to see how to do this beginner makeup, which is focused on the face, then keep on watching. Before we get into the actual routine, I just wanted to say a few things that I think as a beginner you need to have. Now, I know that a lot of people want their makeup to be nice and simple and affordable, but at the same time, I would like you to just understand that makeup has basics, okay? If you want to get a certain look, then you have to have at least a minimum, number of products, which I am going to list now. The first one would be primer. Now, you definitely need primer for reasons that I have spoken about on this channel before. So there's that. And the second thing that you need is foundation. Foundation could be, you could buy any drugstore foundation. Maybelline has a good one, L'Oreal, Rimmel London has a good one. There's a bunch of affordable good foundations out there in the market, so now you don't have any excuse to not have a good foundation. I'll link a list of primers that I have seen on a page on Instagram, so if you'd like to check them out, I'll just put them on the screen as we go so you can have a look and basically have an idea of what you can purchase. The other thing that you also need for your routine would be concealer. Now again, now that the brands have come up with like good quality concealer, Maybelline, L'Oreal, LA Girl, these are all really affordable concealers that you can find in most places nowadays, and they're actually really good. Now I just want to refer you guys to a page on Instagram that I saw called Beauty Bar Kenya, and this is not a sponsored post or content, or I have no affiliation to them. I'm just basically telling you guys where I found makeup that I think, just an access to good makeup that is affordable as well, and just a page that I feel you can kind of trust, and be able to buy from. It's called Beauty Bar Kenya, and I'll link their page again on the side so you can check it out on Instagram and have a look, see what you can purchase. And again, I'll give you references on, the type of maybe foundation or, the other products that I'm going to mention in this video. The other thing that you will need is powder. So after you're done with your concealer and your foundation, you need to set. So powder is something that is essential for you, for your foundation routine, basically. So that's another thing. So far we have primer, we have foundation, we have concealer, and now powders. So far we have 4 products that you really have to buy and invest in, basically. The other thing that I want to talk about is bronzers and highlight. Now in the video, you will see me refer to you guys to basically getting a palette, and this is what I recommend, is to buy a palette that has both highlighter and contour and a bronzer inside. That way it's easy for you to spend on something that is worth it, that has everything in one. So you're not struggling to buy a highlighter on the side, to buy a bronzer, to buy a contour, to buy a blush. You can get a palette that has everything in one. Last but not least, I want to talk about the tools. Now, I will link again a brush set that I feel is really affordable and at the same time makes sense, because it comes with a brush, a sponge. So it comes with a foundation brush that looks like this, comes with a sponge, and it comes with a really small concealer brush that looks like this. Now this is from Morphe, and it's basically a I don't know if they call it a complexion set, but it has everything. Now in tools, one thing that I definitely know that you need is a brush and a sponge. I feel like when you're blending your concealer as a beginner, it's easier to use a sponge than to use an actual brush. This one is much easier to do. So I will definitely recommend that you use a sponge and you get yourself a nice sponge and a brush, a foundation brush. The other type of brush that I wanted to mention was, you know, just something to bronze your face with, to highlight your face with, something that can do both things in one. That way you save on your costs and you don't spend too much money when it comes to the purchase of those. Okay, so finally now let's get into the routine. So because I don't have a drugstore primer, I have gone in with my Fenty primer. I'm now going in with the Maybelline Superstay Full Coverage Foundation. You can find this at any makeup store. It's a very full coverage foundation, so I try not to put too much because I don't like how thick sometimes it ends up looking. Notice how I'm going over my neck as well, just blending it through this area. So first of all, use the most product to go around, you know, areas that need it. And then what's left on the brush, just kind of spread everything down your neck, just to even everything out. All right, so the next thing I'm gonna go in with is concealer. And this is the LA Girl Pro HD Concealer. And this is the shade Chestnut. Now because this shade is way too light, no, this is the shade Toffee. Because it's way too light for me, as you can see, I'm just going to mix it with this L'Oreal concealer, which is much darker. Kind of like a little darker than my skin tone. I'll just put very little and mix it up. But usually I'll just ask you to buy a concealer that is not too bright for you, that is the correct shade for your tone. And see how I'm just putting it on with my finger because I need it to warm up, and I just want to place it strategically where I need it to be. Notice that I'm not going right under my eye either. So once I'm done with the concealer everywhere else, I pick up my sponge and then just blend the under eye area. And at this point is when now I bring everything up after I've blended everything out. See, it's not as hard as it looks, right? Sometimes I feel like a lot of people are just scared of taking the step because they imagine that it's tough and it's hard and oh my goodness, how do I do this? It's too many things. It's not. It's just foundation, concealer, and before that primer. See, when you break it down into those steps, you realize that it's only 3 things that you've put on your face so far. So I don't know if you guys can pick it up on camera, but it's just a little bright in this area. It's not so bright. It's not, you know, visible from miles away. It just looks, you just look nice and bright under your eyes. Because I know that people who don't use makeup are scared of, you know, that really bright highlight look, concealer look under your eyes. So that's not what we're going for. We're just going for a natural looking, soft type of makeup look, okay? Take your foundation brush after you're done and just go over the edges. So the next step after we've blended everything is now we're going in with powder. So the powder that I'm using today is the Fit Me from Maybelline, and this is a medium deep 30. So this is the part that I will require you guys to dig in a little more into your stash, your money stash, and get yourself a powder that is your skin tone. I know you already have this loose powder that you've used under your eyes, and oh my goodness, now this is becoming an extra cost. You know, it's becoming too much. But the reason that I recommend that you buy a skin tone powder, and you know what, if you can use the under eye powder under your eyes and still use it on your skin, great. But if you're not able to, then you need to buy a second powder, which is your skin tone. It could be any compact powder, any. It doesn't have to be, you know, it doesn't have to be expensive. It could be any compact powder, and you can use any kind of sort of like puff or brush, a powder brush, if you have any, or like I said, a puff. This is what I use, and you can see it's my skin tone. Like the powder I use is dark. And why I recommend that you do this is so you can even everything out. See? I don't know if you guys can see, but when I place it in that area and blend it out, it sets the rest of my face, and at the same time helps to kind of blend the lighter powder with the rest of the color on my face. So as much as I don't want this video to be too long, I just need you guys to know that with makeup, everything takes time. And for me to be able to show you everything that I do, it'll take time. But I'll try as much as I can to make this video not as long. So the next step we're going in with is bronzing. So just bronze up your face to bring in dimension and to bring in back the warmth. Just using it really lightly, not trying to get my face super chiseled. When you're done with that, same brush, pick up the highlight, right? And then just go around your cheek on the high points. See, that way you just use the same, you know, just the same brush. You don't have to always buy 2 brushes for this. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. And if you, at all you find this channel beneficial or enjoyable to you, please do consider subscribing. I do makeup videos, I do skincare, a bit of travel, and I'm trying to do fashion and, you know, just lifestyle kind of content as we go. So please do subscribe if you are interested in stuff like that, if you like stuff like that. And I guess I'll see you guys on my next video. All right, God bless you.